Welcome back, everyone. In the first video I mentioned feeling like I'm in my 20s again. And I wanted to talk a little bit more about that. And before I say anything else, being in my 40s, 45 years old, and feeling like I'm in the body of a 20-year-old, but with all the knowledge, with all the experience, the wisdom, the perspective that having lived longer affords. As far as I'm concerned, in the physical realm, it does not get better than this. It's just life does not get better than this. And it's worth having this as a goal, to revert the biological clock. And obviously there are limits to how much you can do that, but you would be surprised of the possibilities of what can be achieved if the proper principles are applied, coupled with extreme discipline and self-control. So, and here's the thing, I think I've said this before, but in my family, we have all the issues that I think most families have. My mom died of a stroke. My dad had open heart surgery. My grandmother on my dad's side died of cancer. I mean, we have high blood pressure. We have the whole laundry list of issues. And as far as I'm concerned, when I was in my 30s, late 20s, early 30s, I started experiencing different issues. I had heart palpitation, my heart was skipping beats. I was starting to have high blood pressure, all kinds of pains everywhere. And I'm here now, 15 years later, I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have any heart issues. Nothing hurts. I have all my original body parts. No sign of any type of cancer or anything like that. So the question is then what happened? It's like, did I just get quote unquote lucky and it skipped me? You know, everybody before me was affected and I'm not affected. Do I have super genes? No, that's not the case. The case is that I made some changes and I was able to revert the biological clock naturally. Like I said before, I don't take any supplements. I don't take any vitamins. I don't even use coffee. I had to up to a point, and then once I dumped most of the toxins in my body, I just felt lighter. I felt more energetic, so coffee was no longer needed. Because coffee, there's a price to pay. I'll make a separate video about that. It's not a free lunch. Even if you do organic coffee and the whole thing, it is not a free lunch. And ideally, you don't have to use it. You don't even need to use it if you tap your body's potential naturally. But remember this guy here? I showed you this photo in the other video. So remember this guy? My 20s? This guy was a joke. I would never want to be this guy again. So basically I looked very healthy. And obviously, I mean, a 20-year-old, you know, I call this having the immortality syndrome. You ride on your hormones. Almost anything goes. You don't think there's a price to pay for anything because you don't feel the effects right away. So I looked like I was healthy, but now looking back at with everything I've been able to build as far as my health goes, I was weak back then. I was weak mentally. I was weak emotionally. I was weak spiritually. And I was weak physically. And I was on the whenever, whatever, and wherever diet. And my number one criteria for food was, okay, is it free? If it's free, I'm in, right? And if it looks anything like it's eatable, I wouldn't ask any questions. I didn't care what was in it. If it was free and if it looked like food, it could be eaten, I would eat it, no questions asked. And obviously the effects didn't come till later. You know, and yeah, so that guy was this guy here. You know, I would get weak in the knees if Barbie or Cinderella would smile and wink at me from across the room, right? So I had no self-confidence. I was basically in some respects, I was a soy boy without even knowing it. I could even grow a beard back then, right? Even if I tried, even if I wanted to, because I wasn't promoting my testosterone production, which that's a whole other subject. You know, people who say, oh, in your 40s, your testosterone is going to tank. Not true, at least not to the level that they want you to believe. I have more testosterone now than I have ever had, right? And I'm not saying this should be the norm. Obviously, there is a decline, but it's nowhere near what we're being sold that it should be. So then you can go ahead and buy some type of product and, you know, do that. So it's funny though, because I've seen those testosterone commercials on TV, and the guys promoting them, they don't even look that manly. The guy looks like full of estrogen, and he's selling a testosterone pill. Yeah, right. Right, Bella? Tell them. What you doing, girl? You bored? You want to play? Got to finish this first, right? Let's see what else I got here. Yeah, so this guy, 29, right? Now I start paying the price. I had been a fast food processing plant for years. So now the effects of going against the natural order of things, if I could put it that way, now you'll start to see, right? And I was basically full of pizza and pesticides because I was going for the free food and I wasn't caring what was in, you know, I was eating. So basically, I am here today to tell you that it is possible to be in your 40s and be in the body of a 20-year-old. There's one thing that I noticed a huge difference. So yes, at 45, I have more strength, more stamina, more energy. I perform way better than I ever did in my late teens and my early 20s, which most people would consider the peak of their lives, right? And it shouldn't be that way. If a 20-year-old did what I do, they would obviously outperform me in every single respect, at least on a physical level, you know, on some physical level, right? Because that's the way it should be. You know, the younger you are, the stronger you are. Now, the emotional part, the capacity to have sound judgment and everything, that I would say that it comes with age, right? Better, or should, right? But if you follow the principles that I'm outlining in these videos, you can achieve the same results or close to the same results, depending on how much you want to do and how fast you want to go. But you can be in your, you know, 30s, late 30s, 40s, late 40s, 50s, and be in the body of an individual that is 20 years younger than you are and not experience any of the conventionally accepted symptoms that we're all supposed to have and accept and just shut up and put up type of thing. Take your pill, be quiet, don't ask any questions. This is just the way it is because some guy in a suit somewhere decided that that's how life should be, right? So I just want to encourage you to start and to think of how your life would be if you woke up in the morning and you had full measure of energy that would last you through the day. If you didn't have any pain anywhere, and by pain I mean, yeah, pain happens. You hit yourself. You have. I mean, you can't get away from pain, but I'm talking about chronic pain, right? You don't have to take pills to survive. Basically, you can actually have a full life where you thrive and you are extremely wealthy in your own body. All right, guys, think about it. I'll talk to you soon enough.